Hey guys, FunnyGuyTimmy here for another Writing Wednesday. So, one of my last videos, someone actually asked how to write video games, which was actually a very interesting question, because I've actually tinkered with making games back in the day. Used things like first-person shooter creator, which is now called Game Guru now, and then use things like Game Maker, which is mostly 2D and stuff like that. So I was interested when someone asked the question, and I looked it up. And I don't technically know. I've never actually written a game, but from what I've noticed, there seems to be two ways if you're actually trying to write a game. And again, it depends on like what kind of game it is. If it is a story-driven linear game, you can actually write it pretty much like a screenplay. You can pretty much write it the way you would a film or the way you would a TV show, just a basic spec script. You'd have to be a little bit more detailed with your action area. You'd be describing what the character has to do rather than what the character is doing. It's not exactly the same, but for the most part, you can write it in that format if there is a lot of dialogue. Now, another way, and this is probably the more correct way to actually plan out a game, and it would actually be using something that's normally called mind maps, which is you can actually get like a whole bunch of different like apps for your phone or for your tablet. I don't know why I'm covering my mouth, but it would be something like this, where you'd create a little icon, and then it would branch out to something else, and you'd label that, and then that would branch out to another idea. So you could have the game, and then there would be a branch, and it would go to the character, and then branching off from the character would be everything that the character can do, how the character controls, who the character is, everything that involves that character, and then it would branch off to the main plot, and then that would branch off to the levels, and then in the levels you'd branch it off to the objectives and what you'd have to do to achieve the objectives. And if it was very specific with like button presses or anything like that, like it was a more physics-based game where you had to do this to cause this, you'd map all that in there to achieve the objective. And that seems to be what a lot of people are doing to write games. Again, I've never actually written out a game, and if I do find some more information on this, I will do another video continuing this. But I just wanted to answer that question because it actually, immediately after doing that live stream and someone asked that question, I went out and I looked it up, and those are the two things that I found out, was that you could write it like a screenplay, and you can plan out and map out your game using something like mind mapping or mind maps. Which there's tons of free apps for your computer or your smartphone, tons. So, it's not something that's, you have to pay to get. But for the most part, you'd just be planning it out step by step. You'd write out all the enemies, you'd write out the objectives, the character, the mechanics of the game. Now, this isn't like game scripting. This isn't like, writing the, if this happens, then this. I don't know how to do any of that, so please don't ask. But yeah, that was just some stuff that I had found, and I thought I'd share that with you. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. If you'd like to see any other videos, leave those down in the comment section below. And until next time, peace.